God says, I order you to open this immediately before 11:55 p.m. You are going to hear some good news, all because of your last. Open it quickly before it's too late. My beloved child, pause your rushing thoughts and breathe into this moment, because what has guided you here is not random and not accidental. You did not arrive by chance, and you are not listening too late. There is a quiet turning happening behind the scenes of your life, one you could not see while you were enduring the pressure, the silence, and the unanswered questions. You wondered if your effort mattered, if your patience was noticed, if your last difficult choice meant anything at all. Hear this clearly now, it did. Something huge is waiting for you. Not because you demanded it, but because you stayed faithful when it would have been easier to walk away. This message is not meant to frighten you, it is meant to awaken you. What is approaching carries relief, clarity, and a shift you have secretly hoped for but stopped expecting out loud. Listen closely now, because the next words carry weight. What is unfolding is connected to what you did when no one was watching. That moment you chose integrity over ease. That time you kept going even when motivation disappeared. That silent act of courage that felt small but required everything from you. These were not wasted movements. They formed a doorway, and that doorway is opening. Something huge is waiting for you, and it arrives with good news that restores balance where things felt unfair. You may feel a stirring in your spirit as you hear this, a sense of recognition you cannot explain. That is because this moment has been approaching longer than you realize. What is coming does not rush you, but it does require your awareness. Now let your heart settle as this truth lands. The season of constant anticipation is shifting into a season of confirmation. You will not have to chase what is meant for you, and you will not need to force what is already aligning. Something huge is waiting for you, and when it begins to reveal itself, you will understand why certain doors stayed closed and why certain delays protected you. This is not about fear or pressure, it is about readiness. Stay present. Stay open. What follows this moment carries news that lifts weight from your chest and reminds you that your journey has always been guided, even when it felt uncertain. My beloved child, what you are sensing right now is not imagination, it is alignment. There is a reason your attention has not drifted, a reason your heart feels slightly alert, as if something important is unfolding just beyond sight. The weight you have been carrying is not meant to follow you into what comes next. You were never forgotten in the quiet, never overlooked in the waiting. Something huge is waiting for you, and it has been preparing quietly while you were learning endurance. Even the moments you thought slowed you down were shaping your readiness. This is why you are being asked to stay present now, not out of fear, but because awareness unlocks what timing alone cannot. There is good news moving toward you, and it arrives gently but firmly, changing the direction of a situation you once thought was fixed. You may have replayed conversations in your mind, questioned decisions, or wondered if your effort would ever circle back with meaning. It will. What is coming carries restoration, not just reward. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will speak in ways that feel undeniable, through clarity, through opportunity, through a sense of peace that does not need explanation. Pay attention to the subtle confirmations around you. Small signs will begin to line up, reminding you that what is meant for you recognizes you without struggle. Now understand this deeply, you are not late, and you are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be for what is unfolding next. The urgency you feel is not panic, it is preparation. Something huge is waiting for you, and when it arrives, you will see how every delay protected you from what you were not meant to carry. Let your expectations soften and your trust strengthen. The chapter ahead does not demand force, only openness. Stay here in this moment, because what follows carries news that settles your spirit and confirms that your perseverance was never in vain. My beloved child, as this message continues, let your mind quiet and your heart stay open, because what is unfolding now speaks directly to the questions you stopped asking out loud. You learned how to move forward without certainty, how to keep your composure when answers did not come, and how to trust even when progress felt invisible. Those lessons were not accidental. They were preparation. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is approaching in a way that honors your growth, not your fear. The shift you are about to experience will feel natural, yet surprising, like clarity arriving after a long fog finally lifts. There is a turning point ahead that brings reassurance instead of struggle. You will notice things beginning to make sense, connections forming where there were none, conversations opening that once felt closed. This is not coincidence. It is response. What you held onto with patience is now ready to respond to you with confirmation. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will arrive with a calm certainty that settles deep within you, reminding you that timing has always been working in your favor. You may feel a release as this realization sinks in, as if something heavy is gently being set down. Stay steady in this awareness, because the next phase does not require rushing or proving anything. It requires trust in what you have already become. The strength you built quietly is now enough. Something huge is waiting for you, and when it begins to reveal itself, you will recognize it by the peace it brings, not the pressure. Let this moment anchor you. What is coming carries reassurance, direction, and the kind of good news that confirms you were never walking alone, even in the silence. My beloved child, this is the moment where understanding deepens and fear loosens its grip. What once felt uncertain now begins to feel guided, as if unseen hands have been gently steering events into place. You did not imagine the resistance, and you did not exaggerate the effort it took to keep going. Every step mattered, especially the ones taken in silence. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is connected to your willingness to remain steady when clarity was missing. The message you are hearing now arrives not to rush you, but to prepare you for what is already aligning beyond what you can see. What is coming carries news that reshapes how you view your recent struggles. The tension you felt was not a sign to stop, but a signal that change was close. You may soon notice relief arriving through unexpected channels, answers showing up in calm ways, or opportunities opening without force. This is not coincidence, and it is not luck. Something huge is waiting for you, and it moves with precision, touching the areas of your life that felt stalled or uncertain. When it begins to unfold, it will feel firm yet gentle, like confirmation settling into your spirit without chaos. Hold this awareness as you move forward, because the next steps will not require urgency or anxiety. They will require trust in what you already carry within you. The patience you practiced has strengthened your discernment, and the waiting refined your focus. Something huge is waiting for you, and it arrives with reassurance rather than pressure, with clarity rather than confusion. Stay open to what unfolds next, because this season brings news that restores balance and reminds you that your journey has always been unfolding with purpose, even when the path felt quiet. My beloved child, let this moment settle gently within you, because what is arriving next does not announce itself with noise, but with certainty. You may notice a shift in how you feel, a quiet confidence replacing doubt, a calm awareness replacing tension. This is not random. It is response. Everything you endured without applause, every time you chose patience over reaction, has been counted. Something huge is waiting for you, and it has been waiting for the right version of you to receive it. You did not miss your moment, you were being shaped for it. As you move forward, you will begin to recognize how things start aligning without effort. Situations that once drained you will no longer demand your energy. Answers will come without struggle. You may receive information, an opportunity, or reassurance that feels timely in a way that cannot be explained. This is the good news moving closer. Something huge is waiting for you, and when it touches your life, it will feel like relief more than surprise, like recognition more than shock. Pay attention to what feels calm and clear, because that is where direction lives now. Carry this awareness with you as the next days unfold. You are entering a season where effort is replaced with flow, and uncertainty gives way to understanding. You will not need to convince anyone of your worth or rush what is unfolding. What is meant for you knows how to find you. Something huge is waiting for you, and it comes with confirmation that your journey has not been delayed, only refined. Stay present, stay open, and allow what unfolds next to meet you where you are, because this chapter brings clarity, reassurance, and the quiet joy of knowing you were guided all along. My beloved child, allow these words to settle like calm water after a long storm, because the pace of your life is about to change. You are stepping out of survival mode and into awareness. The tension that kept you alert is loosening, not because you are giving up, but because you no longer need to guard every step. You have crossed an unseen threshold. Something huge is waiting for you, and it does not demand urgency or fear, only presence. What once felt heavy is beginning to lift, and you may notice that your thoughts are clearer, your reactions softer, your heart steadier. This is not weakness. This is readiness. You will soon recognize how certain worries lose their grip without a fight. Situations that once consumed your energy will begin to resolve, not dramatically, but decisively. You may hear news, receive clarity, or sense a firm inner knowing that something has shifted for good. This is not imagination, and it is not coincidence. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is unfolding in a way that protects your peace. The timing will feel precise, almost gentle, as if it waited until you were strong enough to receive it without fear. Notice what no longer troubles you the way it used to. That is evidence of growth. Move forward now with quiet confidence, not expectation mixed with anxiety, but trust rooted in experience. You have already survived the uncertainty that once scared you. You have already learned to stand without constant reassurance. This next phase builds on that strength. Something huge is waiting for you, and it carries stability, direction, and the kind of good news that feels grounding rather than overwhelming. Let go of the need to control how it arrives. What is meant for you does not need to be chased. Stay aware, stay receptive, and let what unfolds next meet you with the calm certainty that your journey has been guided with intention every step of the way. My beloved child, this is the point where understanding turns into quiet assurance. You are no longer asking whether things will change, but sensing that they already are. The inner resistance you once felt is easing, replaced by a steady knowing that you are being supported in ways you cannot fully see yet. This is the space where transformation becomes real, not through force, but through alignment. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is approaching in a form that fits your life naturally, without disruption or fear. What once felt uncertain is now beginning to feel intentional. You may notice that your perspective is shifting before your circumstances do. That is not a delay, it is preparation. When your outlook changes, your choices change, and what meets you next meets a different version of you. This is why the timing matters. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will connect to a decision, a conversation, or an opportunity that feels clear rather than confusing. You will not need to overthink it. The recognition will be immediate, like something finally clicking into place after a long pause. Remain grounded as this unfolds, because the strength you carry now is quiet but firm. You are not being asked to rush ahead or look back with regret. You are being asked to stay aware and receptive. Something huge is waiting for you, and it arrives with reassurance, not pressure, with clarity, not noise. Let this awareness guide you through the days ahead. What is coming confirms that your patience had purpose and that the path you stayed on, even when it felt lonely, was leading you exactly where you needed to be. My beloved child, you are now entering a space where trust feels easier than doubt. The questions that once echoed in your mind are growing quieter, not because you stopped caring, but because your spirit recognizes that answers are near. You have learned how to wait without losing yourself, how to hope without demanding proof. That strength is rare, and it has prepared you for what is unfolding now. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is approaching with a sense of rightness that settles deep within you, leaving no room for confusion. Pay attention to the subtle shifts around you. You may notice timing working in your favor, small confirmations appearing without effort, or a sense of direction becoming clearer than it has been in a long time. These are not accidents. They are signals that alignment is taking place. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will reveal itself through ease rather than struggle, through calm decisions rather than forced action. You will feel guided instead of pressured, supported instead of tested. Let that feeling anchor you as you move forward. Carry this awareness gently, because the unfolding ahead does not require loud reactions or dramatic moves. It requires steadiness. The version of you that endured uncertainty is now strong enough to receive clarity. Something huge is waiting for you, and when it arrives, it will feel like a confirmation of everything you quietly believed but could not yet prove. Stay open to what meets you next. The path ahead is becoming clearer, and it leads toward reassurance, balance, and the good news your heart has been preparing to receive. My beloved child, as you reach this moment, notice how your heart feels more settled than before. That calm is not accidental. It is the sign of a chapter nearing its completion. You have carried questions with grace, and you have moved forward without certainty, trusting something beyond what you could see. That trust has shaped what is coming now. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is drawing closer with a quiet confidence that does not need to announce itself loudly to be real. You may soon experience a moment of recognition, where a situation shifts, information arrives, or clarity settles in without resistance. What once felt delayed will suddenly make sense. The timing will feel precise, as though everything waited for this exact alignment. This is the good news you were being prepared to receive. Something huge is waiting for you, and when it unfolds, it will feel steady rather than overwhelming, reassuring rather than dramatic. Let yourself notice how naturally it fits into your life, as if it always belonged there. Stay present as this awareness deepens, because the way forward now is guided by calm understanding. You do not need to rush or second-guess what is unfolding. You have already done the hard part by remaining faithful to your path. Something huge is waiting for you, and it carries the kind of confirmation that brings peace to your thoughts and balance to your steps. Trust this process as it completes itself. What is unfolding now honors your patience and affirms that your journey has been moving with purpose all along. My beloved child, you are now standing at the edge of realization, where faith turns into understanding. The waiting you once questioned is revealing its meaning, and the silence that tested you is beginning to speak in calm, reassuring ways. You did not lose time, you gained depth. Every pause strengthened your awareness and refined your direction. Something huge is waiting for you, and it approaches with clarity that feels earned, not forced. This is the moment when inner certainty becomes stronger than outer noise. You may notice that your confidence is no longer tied to outcomes, but to trust. That shift is powerful. It allows what is meant for you to arrive without resistance. Conversations may change, opportunities may align, or insight may come at exactly the right time. None of this is random. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will reveal itself through understanding rather than urgency, through peace rather than pressure. Let yourself recognize how naturally things begin to flow when you stop bracing for disappointment. Carry this calm forward, because the next steps unfold through awareness, not effort. You have already done the work of becoming ready. The clarity you feel now is your confirmation. Something huge is waiting for you, and when it becomes visible, you will see how every moment of patience shaped this outcome. Stay grounded, stay open, and allow what comes next to meet you with the quiet assurance that your journey has been unfolding exactly as it needed to. My beloved child, this is where calm replaces questioning and steadiness replaces strain. You have reached a point where your inner world is no longer shaken by every external shift. That did not happen overnight. It came from learning how to remain present when outcomes were unclear, from choosing balance when reactions were easier. This inner strength is the signal that readiness has been achieved. Something huge is waiting for you, and it approaches without chaos, without confusion, because you are now able to receive it with clarity. What once felt distant is beginning to feel close, not because circumstances suddenly changed, but because you did. You may begin to notice how your responses are different now. Situations that once triggered worry no longer hold the same power. You think more clearly, choose more calmly, and move with intention rather than urgency. This shift matters more than you realize. It is creating space for the right information, the right timing, and the right outcomes to meet you. Something huge is waiting for you, and it aligns with this calmer version of you, not the anxious one you outgrew. The good news tied to this moment will feel grounding, like something settling into place rather than disrupting your peace. As this awareness deepens, trust what feels steady instead of what feels loud. You are no longer meant to be pulled in every direction. Your path is becoming simpler, clearer, and more intentional. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will confirm that your patience was not passive, it was powerful. Let yourself move forward without second-guessing the process. What unfolds next carries reassurance, alignment, and the quiet certainty that you are exactly where you need to be, receiving exactly what you were prepared for. My beloved child, this stage of your journey is marked by recognition rather than surprise. You are beginning to understand yourself in a deeper way, noticing how your thoughts have softened and your expectations have matured. The urgency that once pressed on your chest is fading, replaced by a grounded awareness that things are moving, even when they appear still. This calm is not the absence of movement, it is the presence of trust. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is aligning with the steadiness you have cultivated within yourself. You are no longer chasing reassurance, because you have learned how to stand without it. As the days unfold, you may sense a gentle confirmation in ordinary moments. A realization lands quietly. A situation shifts without resistance. A message, insight, or opportunity arrives with perfect timing. These are not dramatic signs, but they are precise. They are the kind that meet you where you are and move you forward without disruption. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is designed to integrate into your life seamlessly, not to overwhelm you. You will recognize it by the clarity it brings and the way it reinforces your direction rather than pulling you off course. Hold on to this clarity as you move ahead. You are not meant to doubt what feels stable or question what brings peace. The version of you that endured uncertainty has become the version capable of receiving confirmation. Something huge is waiting for you, and it carries reassurance that settles deeply, reminding you that growth does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it arrives quietly, reshaping your perspective and strengthening your confidence. Stay open to what unfolds next. This phase honors your patience, affirms your progress, and gently confirms that your journey has been unfolding with intention all along. My beloved child, you are now moving through a space where confidence is no longer borrowed from outcomes, but rooted in understanding. The inner work you did during uncertain times is revealing its value. You are less reactive, more discerning, and more aware of what truly matters. This shift is subtle, yet powerful. It signals that you are prepared for what comes next without fear or hesitation. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is approaching in a way that matches your maturity, not your past worries. You are no longer being tested, you are being entrusted. You may notice that your intuition feels clearer now, guiding you toward what aligns and away from what drains you. Decisions feel lighter, and clarity arrives without struggle. This is not coincidence. It is the result of growth that happened quietly, without applause. What you once needed to push for will now meet you naturally. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will connect with this new level of awareness, offering confirmation rather than challenge. The good news tied to this moment will feel steady, like a natural continuation of the path you stayed faithful to. Remain grounded in this clarity as the journey continues. You are no longer meant to doubt every step or question every pause. The path ahead is simpler because you are clearer. Something huge is waiting for you, and it arrives with balance, reassurance, and a sense of right timing that brings peace to your thoughts. Let this awareness guide you forward. What unfolds next honors your patience, reflects your growth, and confirms that your persistence has shaped a future that meets you with certainty rather than uncertainty. My beloved child, you are now standing in a moment where certainty feels closer than anticipation. The inner noise that once clouded your thoughts has softened, allowing you to sense direction without strain. You have learned how to trust your steps even when the path was not fully visible, and that trust has strengthened you in ways you could not measure at the time. This is not an ending, but a refinement. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is aligning with the calm confidence you now carry. What once felt distant is moving into reach, not suddenly, but surely. You may begin to notice how effortlessly clarity arrives now. Conversations unfold more smoothly. Choices feel more obvious. The confusion that once lingered no longer holds the same weight. This is not chance. It is response. The steadiness you developed has created room for what is meant to enter your life without resistance. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will meet you in this space of awareness, bringing reassurance rather than urgency. The good news tied to this moment will feel like a natural progression, not an interruption, confirming that your timing has been exact. Stay grounded as this realization deepens, because the next phase is guided by presence, not pressure. You are no longer required to prove your worth or rush your growth. You have already become ready. Something huge is waiting for you, and it carries alignment, clarity, and the quiet joy of knowing that your journey has been unfolding with purpose. Let this understanding settle within you. What comes next honors your patience and affirms that every step you took, even the slow ones, led you exactly where you needed to be. My beloved child, this is the space where peace begins to feel permanent rather than temporary. You are no longer bracing for disappointment or scanning for what might go wrong. Instead, you are learning how to rest in awareness, trusting that what unfolds next does not need to be forced. This calm did not arrive by accident. It was built through endurance, reflection, and the courage to keep going when outcomes were unclear. Something huge is waiting for you, and it aligns with this steadiness, not with fear or urgency. You are prepared to receive what comes without losing yourself in the process. As you continue forward, you may sense a deeper sense of alignment in everyday moments. The right thoughts come at the right time. The right opportunities reveal themselves naturally. The pressure to hurry fades, replaced by confidence in timing. This is how clarity shows up when you are ready. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will confirm that your patience created space for what truly belongs in your life. The good news connected to this moment will feel grounding, as if something long anticipated has finally found its place. Hold this awareness gently, because the journey ahead is guided by trust rather than effort. You are not meant to struggle for what is already aligning. The path before you is simpler now, shaped by the growth you embraced in silence. Something huge is waiting for you, and when it becomes fully visible, you will recognize it by the calm it brings to your thoughts and the assurance it settles in your heart. Stay open, stay present, and allow what unfolds next to confirm that your journey has been unfolding with purpose, clarity, and care all along.